singer Katharine McPhee joins me next, so stick around.
Katharine, how old are you?
I'm 21.
You're excited, aren't you?
I'm very excited. Oh, when it gone and spending ends, they don't come no more.
Okay. Parts of that was absolutely fantastic.
Wow, was that Simon Cowell being nice to someone? Must have been April Fool's Day, because he doesn't. He don't play that. My next guest gained fame as the runner-up on the 5th season of American Idol, and within a year, her debut album reached #2 on the Billboard 200, and she achieved all of this despite suffering from a serious eating disorder. Her new CD is Unbroken, and she's here with me now. Katharine McPhee, welcome to the show, my dear.
Hi, thanks for having me.
Yes, that was interesting to see him and to see you with black hair.
I know, my own real
almost
hair.
didn't recognize you, but you know, you have the pipes. You really could sing.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
That was a very special moment, definitely. It's so weird, my stomach just drops whenever I see that, but it was...
Why? It feels like when he...
It just was so long ago for me. It was almost 5 years ago, because, you know, by the time people actually see it, it was a year or whatever. It was a long time ago, and I feel like I'm such a different person from that girl, you know, who was... just young, and I mean, I'm still such a young person, but
yes.
I just feel like I've grown a lot. I mean, how can you not grow?
I think in showbiz, you go fast.
Yeah, you grow fast,
Yeah.
and you get jaded.
Was he always nice to you, or was that
Simon? I mean, you know, we started off on a pretty good note together, and from what I know, he's been pretty kind to me, and I've always liked him, and I always say that Simon's a much nicer person than he is on the Idol chair, you know, as he plays that character, but. You know,
yeah, but so what? Because, I mean, it's only if he's not nice on television, that's where we see him. Who cares what
Exactly.
he's like in his kitchen?
Yeah, exactly. That's true.
Right?
It's true.
But no, I was watching American Idol this week, and Ellen DeGeneres was on.
Yeah.
She made her Idol debut. So actually, was Paula's replacement, I think.
Right.
And let's look at her.
Okay.
See how she did.
But seriously, don't frighten your audience. Don't get so intense. You know, sexy and scary. It's a fine line.
You know, some people were saying the reviews were some people saying she was great, some people saying she was bland.
Right.
That doesn't look too bland to me.
No, I think
she was out there.
I think if Ellen sticks with Ellen, she's gonna be great, and I think we'll really know how she ends up being as a judge. I mean, I'm a huge fan of hers, but. You know, when it goes live, because it's not really live yet. There's still an editing process where they're snipping things
yes.
and that kind of thing. So we'll see how she really
What
does.
about the Ellen and Simon dynamic? How do you think that's going to go?
I don't know. You know, Simon, like we said on camera, he can pick a fight with anybody. So who knows what he's gonna pull up his sleeve. I mean, I feel like Ellen's sort of a hard person to get
mad at.
To get mad at.
She's really nice.
Yeah.
I know. Do you think? But I mean, Simon's not going to be there after this year, right?
Well, that's true.
That is an issue, in my opinion. I think you need someone like him there. They were talking about Howard Stern.
Right. I just heard that today, and I was like, well, that's an interesting choice. Of course, nothing's been made set in stone, but you know, I think my opinion on the show not having Simon, I think worse things have happened. I mean. It's a TV show, and it's been on for a long time, and we'll just, you know, we'll see what happens. And
yeah, but you need someone who's really kind of like, not mean, but, you know, brutally honest, I think.
But when I was on Idol, Howard Stern was a huge fan of mine, and he, you know, one of his little sidekick, I don't watch the show, sorry, I don't watch the show.
Yeah.
But he has a huge following, but he loved me. But anytime, you know, but actually I have a story, I didn't go on his show just because, like, that's just not, I didn't really feel like that was my demographic. I was a young girl.
On his radio show.
Yeah, his radio show, and I didn't really want to be asked to show my boobs on television.
Thank you.
So I just decided not to go. And I think he actually got mad at me, but I like you, Howard Stern. I don't know.
He got mad at you because you didn't want to show your boobs?
I think he said something about, like, he got kind of mean about my weight or whatever, or something
Your
mean.
weight? Oh, they go there. He must have known you had a little bit of an eating problem then, and he just went for
I don't
the
think
jugular.
he did. That's just what men, you know, that's what men do when they're insensitive and that kind of thing. But, but I had heard that, actually, that he had made a comment about it, and I thought, well, that's not very nice.
Let's talk about the bulimia for a second, all right? Because I know that you're over it.
Right.
I read about it, and you told me about it.
It's so funny. I mean, it's like the way the business goes. I've been over it for so long, and I'm happy to be a role model. But you know, I did the cover of Shape magazine, and I mentioned one line. Of course, that's what all the things that people run with, which is fine because.
But how long were you doing bulimic?
About 7 years, and they say actually experts say that the lifespan of an eating disorder is about 7 years. But it always starts with a diet, and it always starts with some sort of education about a disorder, and that's really what happened with me. I started, my whole family was started on a diet, and I didn't really need to be on a diet, but I had, you know, my body, you know, it's like kids, their bodies change after they're kids, and you start going through puberty, and you know, you put on a little weight or whatever. And I think that just, for me, I'm such an advocate against diets because I've always found that they make you more obsessed with losing weight, and it's not really about the lifestyle. Like for me, I was in front of all of America losing weight, but losing weight so very slowly and in such a healthy way because I had just come out of a program that was going to be able to show me, you know, this is the correct way to do things in your life, not crash dieting.
I don't understand bulimia. Anorexia makes more sense to me. But throwing up, I can't even stand to have a grilled cheese sandwich go through my nose if I'm laughing. I mean, I find it so gross. I don't know how any girl could do that. But let's just talk about your album now for a second. You have this new album, and it's called Unbroken. Now, what does that mean, Unbroken?
Well, Unbroken is a song that I wrote with an amazing artist, Paula Cole, and I was such a huge fan of hers, and I was just so excited to be able to write with her. But when I was thinking of a title, like a correct title for my record, and what I thought would be a good theme for the record was Unbroken, and I looked it up in the dictionary. It said untamed and wild. Now, there was a bunch of other definitions, but that was one of them, and I thought, well, that's interesting because with my record label and this place that I'm at, Verve, as part of Universal, they really gave me so much freedom on this record. I got to go write for a long time in Nashville and in LA, and I spent a year and a half on it, and it was just such an incredible experience, and I felt like Unbroken, that's a good word to sort of represent, you know, how long I've been in the business. I've still got my things together. I've got my life together more than I ever did before people knew who I was, and I just felt like that was a good...
You're on a roll now. You're on a roll. You're doing really well.
Thank you.
You know, I'm happy for you. You're a nice girl. I like your new hairdo, too.
Thank you.
Although a lot of the Twitters were like, let her go back to her brown hair.
Oh, you know.
Yeah, well,
it'll go back to brown. I'm always your brunette, so I'll go back.
I think your blonde is better.
Really?
That's my opinion.
Thank you. Some people are saying that.
I just say things, you know.
Thank you.
So thanks anyway.
Thank
for coming.
you. Thank you.
Her new album is called Unbroken. Prolific author Jackie Collins joins me next.